Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. I am Ryan Bolin. Thank you all for joining me once again. So there was a bill that was signed into law that would officially go into effect in 2025, in the spring of 2025 in Los Angeles, where they essentially said that this will ban all cell phone usage in the classroom among children and among young teenagers. Now, that sounds good right off the bat, right? Well, we're going to get right into this article and find out exactly what this is all about. And then I'm going to give you guys my opinion on this because there's some good things out of it and there's some bad things out of it. Let's get right into this. Yeah. They are going to ban these cell phones here. It says the Los Angeles Unified School District's board voted 5-2 in favor of banning cell phones and social media use during the day amid outcry from educators. The ban in Los Angeles public schools will go into effect come spring 2025, which I don't understand why they wait so long. I mean, golly, spring of 2025, wow. We might not even be here, but anyway, and goes beyond the previous district policy of only banning cell phones during class instruction while limiting social media to, quote, educational purposes. The ban comes following the Pew Research Center showing that 72% of high school teachers in the United States believe cell phone use has become, quote, a major problem in the classroom. Yes. As noted by CNN, the previous policy took effect in 2011 and became relatively toothless in the face of smartphone use exploding over the past decade. Our students are glued to their cell phones, not unlike adults, said board member Nick Melvin, who support the ban. They're scrolling in school in class time. They have their head in their hands, walking down the hallways. They're not talking to each other or playing at lunch or recess because they have their AirPods in. And I agree with that. I made that statement to one of my coworkers some time ago, also to a couple of members of my church, that young people generally do not, they're glued into their cell phones, no doubt about it. I've talked about it quite often on my job. I see them, their faces in there. You have a boy and a girl. One could assume a boyfriend and girlfriend. Okay, I don't even know if they use that term today. Walking down the hallway together, but either one is on the phone and the other is talking. Either the boy is on the phone and the girl is talking, or the girl is on the phone and the boy is talking. They never are talking one-on-ones. One of them is on the cell phone. So yes, it is a major problem. But let's go further. District members supporting the ban wrote that research shows, quote, excessive cell phone use impacts adolescents' mental health and well-being and is associated with increased stress, anxiety, depression, sleep issues, feelings of aggression, and suicidal thoughts. And I think I had read some time ago a corresponding article gave the same information. So I think there may be some validity to this particular research here and it's cited in this particular article. I think that there may be some validity there. Excessive cell phone use does impact these young people's mental health and their well-being. It's associated with increased stress, anxiety, depression, sleep issues, feelings of aggression, and suicidal thoughts. There may be some validity with that. Research indicates the limiting cell phone usage and social media access during the school day increases academic performance and has positive effects on student mental health, they added. Parents expressed concern that the blanket ban could put their children at risk in case of an emergency, and rightly so. I think in emergencies and with parent communication, this is definitely where a lot of parents have expressed their concerns to me, Melvion said. I think it's such a tragic sign of the time that is what we initially think of. And we all need to do better in this country when it comes to gun violence. We all need to do better in this country when it comes to gun violence prevention and keeping our students safe. Clearly, this is a liberal. What does that got to do with if anything, they should have their phone with them. If you were, I'm not going to get into that. Liberals always aggravate me when they talk. They tend to aggravate me. But board members, it goes on to say, board members say the ban may be implemented differently depending on the school. Some might require them to be kept in the students' lockers, while others might have them placed in a magnetic pouch. The district also recognized an adequate system needs to be developed when informing parents in case of an emergency. Other parents and administrators also expressed concerns that students who do not speak English might need their phone as a translator. So that's all I'm going to read right there. That's pretty straightforward. You guys can read the rest of that article. in the description box below. But yeah. And you can look at that from two sides. It's a good thing because a lot of young people, regardless of what city or state that they are in, do have an obsession with these cell phones. They do have an obsession with social media, and that's true. But I also agree with the parents' argument that in case of such an emergency, they should, this could hinder them if there's an emergency. Okay, if they need to get in contact with their parents, or if the parents need to get in contact with them, then they can't do it. Okay, here's the deal. This is my view on this. Without the government getting involved in this, okay, because this is where you have an overreach of the government, and that's what I see coming here. When the teachers are in the classroom and they see the students on the phone, tell them put the phones up. Period. That's it. They say the article says kids are in their cell phones and they should be doing work. Well, I'm pretty sure that the teacher is paying attention, that they'll see the cell phones and say, Johnny, boo boo, cuckoo, coco, caca, or whatever, put your phone away. That's it. One of the reasons why there's so much nonsense in these classrooms is because teachers no longer have any authority to do anything. They took SWATs away. Okay, when I was coming up, we got SWATs. And if you don't know what SWATs are, if you were young and you don't know what SWATs are, that was you got your butt whooped. They had a paddle. They would whack you across your butt if you can do homework. If you was being hard-headed and unruly in the class, you got SWATs. They took that out of the way, and then they took away discipline from the teachers. Teachers can't say or do anything to these students now. So one of the reasons why a lot of these kids are on their cell phones when they're in class and should be listening to the classroom is because there is no discipline. There is no discipline because that power has been taken from the teachers. And guess who did it? The far left liberal government and the sissified, Lord forgive me, I'm trying to be professional. These wimpy Republicans sit back and I don't want to say nothing. In cahoots with that nonsense. So now they don't have any authority. Simply tell them to put their cell phones away, because at the end of the day, if there's an emergency, then they're going to be able, they may need to use those cell phones. And I agree with the parents on that. Yes, now I'm not arguing against the fact that these young people spend too much time on the cell phones, but when the government starts getting involved in that, then that's a problem for me. When the government starts saying we're going to limit access to your cell phones in the class, eventually they're going to create a law. They're going to create some kind of law where they implement technology that will automatically turn your cell phones off while you're in the classroom. And that's literally what I thought this article was going to actually say when I read the headline. I thought it was going to say something along the line of, when these kids are in classroom in these schools in Los Angeles, in public schools in Los Angeles, when it comes time for them to go to class, there's going to be some kind of electronic system that's going to cut their cell phones off while they're in class. But apparently that's not the issue. But I think eventually, sometime in the future, that's what's going to end up happening by mandate of the government. So when the government gets involved, I get iffy, okay? Yes, these kids spend too much time on their cell phones, but keep the government out of it. What the government, if anything, what the government needs to do is give authority and power back to the teachers like they once had. If you want to omit swatting, I get it. Because these kids are crazy nowadays. You probably try to hit them now, they probably try to punch you. They do so now anyway. Okay? That's why I couldn't be no teacher. I'm old school. We ain't going there. But what needs to be done is that the teachers need to be given their authority back. Johnny, turn that phone off. I'm teaching. Melissa, turn that phone off. I'm teaching. If you don't turn it off, you're going to get a write-up. You're going to go to the office. And I'm going to call your parents and come and get you. The authority has been taken away from the teachers. You don't have to why should you have to have a unanimous vote in the political realm to ban cell phones out of the classroom? Why would you need the government to do something about that? That shouldn't be a government issue. That should be something that has to do with the authority of the teachers and the school board. Look, No cell phones. We don't need the government's permission. We don't need the government stepping in. No, because the government was the ones that took power and authority from the teachers to begin with. We need the government to shut up and get out of our face and give us back the authority as teachers that we once had. You need to turn that cell phone off or it's going to be a problem. Period. Bottom line. That's how I see it. So this whole government, this is iffy to me. It has some good, valid points. But it sounds like government control to me. They're going to get more and more and more and more control. Sooner or later, they're going to want to have something, that in their head and in the palm of their hands. I don't want to say it because this video might get flagged. Yeah. That way they can control what they're thinking and how they feel. But that's another video. I'm just saying. Call me a conspiracy theorist all day. But them books ain't up. Those books I have up there, they're not up there for nothing. Those books are highly documented. Okay. So yeah, all right. But that's what I wanted to say about that. Yeah, this is iffy to me. It has its good points, but I think by the government in Los Angeles and the politicians in Los Angeles being involved in this, I think this could lead to more nefarious things in the schools and so forth. More control. Once you give the far left liberal government or the government period a little bit of control, they're going to want more control because that's ultimately what they want. They want absolute control of everything you do, everything your children do, what you think, what you eat, the air you breathe, the water you drink. That's what they really, really want, but they can't get it like they want to, like in a lot of these communist countries, okay, where it's just they force you to be that way. They force themselves on you. They can't do that here in America because this is America. But they sure are trying through these legislation and these laws. But see, I read all through. I'm skeptical of that. I don't like the government, and I just don't like them. I don't trust the people in the government, rather. I just don't trust them at all. Local, state, federal, makes no difference. I don't trust them. But that's my view on that. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all. See you again.